Okay, hello everybody, it's evening. I'm really gutted that I didn't get it on tape, but we've been in with Violet for about an hour, both of us. The reason we wanted to start doing both of us is we want to reduce the space that she can run away. So we've given her a week of just the limited pressure, just with the arms and with the food, and now it's time to start putting a bit more pressure on. She's offered us this first step forward. She's coming up to us for food, so she understands the connection now between us and food and basically pleasure. So today I did what patgoats.com did, and he basically said once you've got them at that point, now's the time to put the pressure on, and you basically have to get them over your knee and stroke them, almost like they're a massive cat. So we had Kate in one corner and I was in the other, and basically Violet had nowhere to basically pin herself anymore. And you could see it in her face. She was thinking, right, this is it. You know, this is it. She didn't panic. She did try and be a bit silly at one point, but Kate just pushed her very carefully away and it stopped. It went completely calm after that. And then I grabbed hold of her and just gently moved her towards me. At one point she was like, right, I'm not sure about this, and gave a bit of a huff. She wasn't aggressive at all. No. And then eventually she got to a point where she couldn't back up anymore, and I put her front legs over my knee. And the reason you do that, you want them to relax. When a goat lies down, that means contentment. It takes away a lot of the stress. If she's standing in a corner constantly...
They're just never going to be calm.
No, they're just never going to be calm if they're just stood there the whole time. So to alleviate that, I just took both of her front legs and laid her down over my lap. And the first thing she did, she looked at me like, what the hell?
What's going on? Where
how the hell did I end up here? But then as I was stroking her,
how do I get out of this?
she was leaning into me for the stroke. She wasn't trying to force her way out. As soon as I felt that enough was enough, I removed the pressure by removing my arms, and she just leapt off.
And you just let her go.
And I let her go.
Yeah.
She then proceeded to try and be a little bit huffy and darting around. So I did the same thing. I put my hand on her, started stroking her, put her back over my knee. She was much calmer leaving me that time, and I was able to leave without it being one step back. Yeah. It's kind of like a horse. If a horse shows you aggression and you leave, what's that horse learning? If I'm aggressive, she leaves. Yeah. And it was the same with Violet. She wasn't being aggressive. She was huffing and stamping, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to leave this time. I don't want her to think that that's how she gets rid of us. Yeah. So I put my hand on her and I put her over my knee again. And the second time, she just stood there very calmly and let us go. So I think she's learning the pattern now.
Yeah.
But
I think
it was a lot of pressure for one day, but we've had 1 week of minimal pressure. We now need to start ramping it up, because we need to get to the point where she will pretty much lie down in a stable with us. That's where we need to be.
Well, and the reason why we're doing this is so that we can get used to her being hoof trimming, because in the state that she is in now, it could be quite dangerous, and we don't want to stress her out.
Particularly as she's horned. Definitely. I understand. I don't particularly agree with polling, because they use it for heat regulation. That's what the horns are for. Yeah. But in a situation where you've got a feral goat, like a very wild goat, it is very dangerous. And there were times where I had to be very careful. I wasn't applying too much pressure. I had to work out what she could take.
Because if she put her head back,
she'd have gored me in the eye. That's how close she was. Yeah. So next time I'll leave Kate with my phone so she can take a photograph of it. Yeah. I want Kate to start doing it as well, because she needs to have equal work with both of us, not just with me. I don't want her to think that I'm the one that gives her cuddles and Kate just occasionally gives her food. Yeah. We need to realise that whoever comes in that stable, she's going to have the same interaction with. So I was touching her ears, touching her neck, touching her back. I even touched her bottom today, which is a massive thing. She would never let that before, but I had my arm right around the back of her, so I had control of the situation, moved her onto my knee, and then once I'd got to there and relaxed, that's when I removed the pressure.
You should show these two.
And if she bolts, that's okay, that's her decision, but she's had to submit to the fact that she was on my lap. There you go. It's kind of a bit like, you did it now, you can't go back. Yeah, but anyway, I wanted to show you our little gem. Yay. There is he. There he is.
He's Buddy.
So you might have noticed Aries has lost all of his wool. It's because we hand sheared him. I thought I did a terrible job. Actually, it's not that bad. You might have noticed he's got a little bit of lengthy stuff here. It's because he has wattles, so he's got his little glands. And if I snip those off, it could be really quite serious. Yeah. And then we've got Fat June over there. We call her Fat June because every time we see her, she's eating.
She's always eating.
Hello, baby girl.
Hey, June.
So we've made these little makeshift hangers for their hay. We are going to be getting some hay bags, not nets, because we've got horned animals here.
But these seem to do the best thing, which means less hay wastage.
Absolutely, yeah. What do you think about all this, young man?